here interviewing Sonya Jenkins, the author of Shayla's Catch, and this is her book signing. So, how are you today?
I am wonderful. I am
Excellent,
wonderful. I feel really good
excellent.
today.
Really good. Are you excited about the
I am
upcoming
because
event?
it's the first fashionista book signing, and my
Mm-hmm.
book has been out for a year. But and this fashionista book signing is one of the exciting ones, I must say.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Now, tell me about Shayla's Catch.
Okay. Shayla's Catch is about Shayla, a young lady who's looking for true love. She's
Mm-hmm.
looking for her catch, basically. She's a young lady, she's in her 20s, and
Mm-hmm.
she wants to find a man who's going to love her, but who also has some power. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's an athlete, basically, but that's the guy that Shayla meets. So it takes you
Mm-hmm.
on her journey and meeting a professional athlete,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes from the day they met until all the ups and downs they go through, and how she loses herself in this guy.
Oh,
She
wow.
loses her self-esteem. She thinks that he is God's gift to the world, and he thinks he's that. So basically, she starts to lose a lot of her self-esteem and a lot of her goals through
Mm-hmm.
his world. So
Oh,
it takes you
okay.
on their journey and how
Okay.
she eventually finds herself again.
Now, there is an old saying that all fiction is based on a part of reality. So, is any of Shayla's story based on reality?
I tell you what, I've had a lot of Shayla's emotions, but the book is fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Emotionally, if you've loved hard, I have
Mm-hmm.
loved hard, then
Yes.
you can relate to Shayla. So if it's not based on me, but it is based on a lot of the emotions that I've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think anybody can relate, whether they're married or whether they're single, they can relate to Shayla and her emotions. And she goes through a lot of them, I tell you that.
Okay. Okay. Now, with Shayla, what would be the ultimate message that you would want to get out to young women today?
Number one, you gotta love God. Number two, you gotta love yourself. That
Mm-hmm.
combination, you can't go wrong, because the way that to catch anything or to be a catch, well, you have to be a catch, number one, in order to get a catch. So
Okay.
Shayla's looking for her catch.
Mm-hmm.
So she learns, and I think that a lot of women learn
Mm-hmm.
that you have to have confidence from within. You
Okay.
have to know where you're going, because if you don't, you won't get anywhere. You have to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be distractions. It might be a guy, it could be anything, but you have to stay focused on what it is that you want. Shayla loses her focus in Shayla's catch,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, she goes through a lot of pain and some joyful experiences as well.
Okay.
Some of the pain she didn't have to go through,
Mm-hmm.
and if she had listened to wiser people. So I think that learning from people who are wiser than you, who've experienced more than you, is a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I would say that self-esteem, it doesn't come through a man. You have to already have that confidence from within and
Mm-hmm.
actually demand respect. And when you demand respect, you get respect.
Okay, okay. Now let's talk about your journey as a writer. You started out as a journalist.
I did. I actually have been writing for, let's see, since high school. I was published in college. Wrote
Mm-hmm.
for a sports magazine, as a matter of fact, when I was in college at the University of Tennessee in
Mm-hmm.
Knoxville. It was called Smokey's Tail Magazine, and my first published article was about an athlete.
Oh,
So
so this brings
writing
it
the
full
novel
circle.
about an athlete wasn't a hard task for me, because my brother Lee Jenkins played football. He was
Mm-hmm.
drafted by the NFL. I had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of friends that were in the NFL who are still in the NFL, and it was a journey for me in writing, going from sports writing in college to entertainment writing. I had
Mm-hmm.
an internship with Entertainment Tonight when I was 21 years old.
Okay.
And I decided, okay, forget sports, let's do entertainment journalism, because I started meeting a lot of celebrities. So I
Mm-hmm.
did a lot of celebrity feature stories, wrote for Upscale Magazine, the Atlanta Voice, the Atlanta Tribune, Black Elegance Magazine, just several magazines and newspapers throughout the years. But I
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to finish my novel or start a novel. So in the late 90s, believe it or not, I
Wow.
was closer to Shayla's age then. I started writing Shayla's Catch.
Wow.
It flowed. I did not have writer's block at all. The only block that I did have was the block that I put on myself.
Okay.
Which things in my life would happen, and I would put the book on the shelf. Or I would just say, oh, this is not the right time. So I would put it on the shelf and bring it down from the shelf and put it back on the shelf. So before I knew it, 15 years had passed. And I had
Wow.
been putting Shayla's Catch on the shelf and taking it off. And so I decided maybe in 2012, somewhere around then, that I'm going to get the story out. So I
Okay.
finished the novel, shopped for a publisher. That wasn't happening quickly, so I ended up self-publishing in
Okay.
2014.
Okay, excellent. Now, your journey as a writer, I understand, has taken you to the Essence Music Festival this year.
Shayla's Catch will be featured at the Essence Bookstore during the Essence Music Festival, July 3rd through July 5th. It's at the New Orleans Convention Center, and I'm really excited. It's my biggest opportunity yet because thousands of people will be at the Essence Book Festival. Well, I'm calling it a book festival.
Music Festival.
Essence Music Festival. So I'm really excited about that. Shayla's Catch is going to be there. I don't know what more to say. Just pure excitement. Pure
Okay.
excitement, yes.
Now, do you have any hopes or ventures on the back burner to turn Shayla Catch into a movie?
Yes, I actually started thinking about Shayla's Catch as a movie before I finished the novel. And I would have my friends to reenact the scenes, and I call them scenes, but the chapters in my book. And when they would bring that to me, I said, this is a movie. So I already have aspirations for it to become a movie and to break it down into a script.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I really do. So hopefully that'll happen within the next few years.
Okay. And we have a lot of writers that, read our newspapers. So what advice would you give those writers?
Okay. The first piece of advice is to write. I mean, if you can't, I never said that I want to be. I never ever said I want to be a writer. I always said I am a writer. So if you are a writer, then you need to write. I've never stopped writing. I started writing when I was a little girl, actually, in diaries.
Okay.
And I continue to write, and to this day, I write and write and write. Now, I do get at times where I'm like, okay, I'm working on my second novel, and it's been some months since I wrote maybe 2 chapters, and then I stopped for a little while, and so I have to push myself. So as a writer, you have to sometimes push yourself and say, I need to sit down and get a little discipline to my life, because sometimes life is fast, and writing is something that nobody else can do for you. You have to sit down and do it yourself. So I would say definitely, if you can't naturally do it, you can't naturally sit down and start writing, then make a time frame. Say, I'm going to write from 6 to 8, or start with 30 minutes, 6 to 6:30.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Now, I'm going to get back to Shayla's Catch, and I'm going to ask a couple of more questions. Which is your favorite chapter?
Oh, wow. I think chapter 9 is my favorite chapter because it's called Sicky Sicky Now.
Okay.
Well, that's not why, but it's because there are some. Shayla had lost a little hope at one point. In reading the novel, you'll discover that, the reader starts to lose a little hope too for her. So in this particular chapter, she rebounds. And it's such a rebound for her that it brings excitement. You go through her emotions.
Okay.
I've had people to tell me that they were reading that particular chapter or somewhere in the book, and they would not be able to put it down because
Okay.
they wanted to know what would happen next.
Wow.
So that chapter is based on something that goes on around New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and it's my favorite chapter. It's a little, interesting, I must say.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, which was the most difficult chapter to write?
The most difficult chapter was for me to write was a chapter called Rock Bottom. So you can imagine. As a writer, you go through the different emotions that your character is going through. So Rock Bottom was when she actually was at her lowest point. And it was, I didn't want to finish that chapter because I felt like, oh gosh, I just felt like it was me. Even though I knew it wasn't me, I just felt her pain. So that particular chapter was definitely hard to write when you feel a character's pain. And you know that it's not you, but you still have to write about what they're going through.
Yes. Okay. Now, I do have one last question for you. What's next, Miss Sonya Jenkins? Will there be a Shayla's Catch 2?
You know what? I have thought about it. I've definitely started working on my second novel, which is about 4 young women who go on a trip together, and they were college roommates, but now they're in their 30s, so it takes you on their journey and all the fun they have and all the drama that happens. But Shayla's Catch 2, or Shayla's Catch Overtime, is possibly in the making as well. I've talked to people about the character Shayla and the guy that she meets, the football player, and there are a few little different twists and turns that could happen in that, meeting or relationship. So I am definitely thinking about a Shayla's Catch Overtime.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Miss Sonya Jenkins, for sharing your story with Writers World newspaper. And we definitely look forward to seeing where Shayla's Catch goes and what comes after Shayla's Catch. So thank you so much for this time. And
can I tell the audience
yes,
where they can get it?
Yes, you can.
Shayla's Catch is available at my website. I have a web magazine that I still keep pretty active with entertainment news. But you can also find Shayla's Catch at www.sonyasspotlight.com. That's Sonya with a Y and 2 S's in the middle. Sonyasspotlight.com. You can get it on Amazon.com. You can get it at Madu Bookstore, Greenbrier Mall, Atlanta. And you can order it at Barnes & Noble or Books A Million. So there are several places that Shayla's Catch is available.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. And are you a catch?
Yes, I am. I am a catch.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.